Welcome everyone to ASEM Lifelong Learning Hub, where we will invite each member of ASEM Lifelong Learning Hub to come and share their stories and working experience as a researcher in lifelong learning and adult education. My name is Fu, who will be the host for the show. Today we have Dr. Suwithida, who is part of Research Network number 6 of ASEM. Dr. Suwithida, would you like to take a few minutes to introduce yourself?
Thank you very much. My name is Suwithida Tarunggetikul. I lecture teaching in non-formal education in the Department of Lifelong Education, Faculty of Education, Chulalongkorn University here in Bangkok, Thailand. And I also serve as the Director of General Education Center at Chulalongkorn University.
So, would you mind if we start off with the question, what inspired you to work in the lifelong learning and adult education field?
Yeah, actually there are many reasons. Okay. Most of all, I would say I fall in love with the importance of the field. Okay, especially in non-formal adult learning and education, lifelong education. And as you know, I'm from Thailand, developing country where education is necessary for people, right? So the field really important for me to seek opportunity to be able to apply my knowledge to help the people and also the society. And also I have several mentors, okay, in the field that I very respect and value them a lot. Okay.
That is such, you are the very first person that I have ever talked to and say that they fell in love with their own professional and not just because it comes to you, but you actually seek to it, which is, I'd say that is very rare to see that. Well, you fell in love with adult education and lifelong learning. Would you want to share more, tell me more, like what interesting or insights or cool stories when you do research about lifelong learning?
Yeah, actually, I've been in the field for almost I think 20 years now. Yeah, and I've been working with several professors and also both national and international research teams. Many research projects that I would say, okay, that I I'm happy and to be part of them. Okay, but one of the recent study that I would like to share with you all is the project called the name of the research is the role of adult learning and education in lifelong learning, okay, in Cambodia, Laos, PDR, Vietnam, and Thailand, okay. And we got funding support from DVV International Institute for International Cooperation for the German Adult Education Association. Mm-hmm. And the objective of the project is to restarting the debate, okay, around the concept of adult learning and education in mainland Southeast Asia, okay. And I have to work with the research team from these 4 countries, and they are professor, and some of them are NGO, okay. For example, a professor from Royal University of Phnom Penh, Cambodia, Faculty of Education, National University of Laos, and then Simeo Sel from the Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. Yeah, and we find out several interesting results, okay, and also challenges for the field, okay. And this study, the result also be support for the global adult learning and education recommendation as well, okay. And for example, we find out that we have the problem with the terminology. Okay, in these four countries, even though they use lifelong learning, but the activity inside of this concept variety. For example, some country use the word non-formal education, adult education, something like that, or vocational education. And we also what you call got some recommendation as well, and some of the recommendation. For example, okay, we might have to, in this country, we might have to increase the size of the budget for working in this field, and we have to enhance our intra and inter ministerial dialogue and cooperation or something like that. And we have to emphasize on the public responsibility for education. Yeah, many good data of this research project.
Yes, many great data. So is there any recommendations, may if I may ask,
Yeah.
uh because I am from Vietnam as well.
Uh-huh.
So I would want to know, because lifelong learning means, well, to me, it means that we will never stop learning, uh,
Mm-hmm.
even until we're old. So I would want to ask you as a researcher, if what is the recommendation that you are working on right now, that you have the highest expectation that this recommendation should be brought to life and
Mm-hmm.
would actually improve people's life
Mm-hmm. You mean for promoting lifelong learning, right?
or promoting lifelong
Yeah, yeah.
learning.
Yeah, when to answer this question, we might have to position ourselves. Okay, if you ask me as the policy people, right? I would say I would have to start with the forming the right policy, especially Lifelong Learning Promotion Act. Okay, make sure you have the act, education, National Education Act that mention
Mm,
clearly about lifelong learning promotion. Okay, but if you ask me as the a researcher, okay, or a professor who teach at the university and be able to share my knowledge and experience, not only for my student, but also people in the society, I would say to increase or to foster uh, their people mindset, okay, especially in lifelong learning, kind of, what do you call, increase their, not only their understanding, but the concept, or even the way they understand the concept and be able to apply the concept into their own situation. This is very important for lifelong learning. People know only the definition, but people never see the concrete, what do you call, example or guideline, okay, to start their own lifelong learning journey. So yeah, the many strategy and suggestion for lifelong learning promotion. But I would say to work with mindset of the people and also to create the proper system for the society those are very important. Those two things are very important.
I agree with you on that, especially on the mindset part,
Yeah.
because I remember back in Southeast Asia, the mindset of people upon lifelong learning is not really something that
Yes.
people would
Yes.
aiming for. People would go for formal education
That's true. Mainstream
because
education. Yes.
we believe that with formal educations, the higher you study, the more chances you will have in life. And so
Mm.
people tend to forget about lifelong learning as well. And so
Yep.
personally, to me, I think informal and non-formal, as you were
Mm-hmm.
mentioning, that I think to me those two educations are really hard to apply in Southeast Asia
Mm.
specifically. So was there any challenges when you were doing research or when you were trying to applying, well, recommendations around you? was there any challenges that you find that just so hard to change the people mindset?
Mm, mm. Um, I would say for you have to see different people here. Okay, if you talk about learner, I mean ourselves as an individual
Oh,
learner, yes,
okay.
yeah, we have to open mind, okay, to the lifelong learning. Do we trust our self-directed learning enough? Okay, and also another one would be the provider. I would touch on the provider. Right now, the problem of lifelong learning promotion in Thailand and also in our neighboring country would be to for people who work, okay, in the government, and they are the key man to drive or promote lifelong learning. They misunderstanding about the concept, okay, and they also take lifelong learning as let's say part of the compulsory education or something like that, or try to make non-formal and informal learning to become similar or equal to formal education or something like that. So this is this is the challenges. Okay, so we have to work not only with the individual, I mean, as with the learners, okay, or people in the community, but also we have to work with the people who are the providers, lifelong learning at the community as well. Okay.
You're actually right about that. I think every individual loves to learn, but not every provider can actually provide us with
Mm-hmm.
the
Mm-hmm.
correct method. That is, well, it reminds me of when like teachers back in
Mm.
schools where they just, because they're so, some teachers teaches for, I don't know, 10 years already, they start to lose their passion with their
Sure,
professions,
sure,
something
sure.
like that. So
Yeah.
they sort of just go to class and teach students, and then they go home without really giving any insights to the students, which I think discourage everyone a lot as a learner
Yeah.
or
Yes.
as an individual.
Yes, yes. To touch on this point, I normally have one of my explanation on your point.
Oh wow.
Ourself, I mean, as a teacher, we have to change paradigm from teaching paradigm to learning paradigm. We are not teacher in lifelong learning promotion. We are learning facilitator. We are learning designer. We are co-learner, or we even be the lead learner or something like that. So
Yes.
yes, let's close your eyes and think about, if I say you are learning facilitator, you are learning designer, you will see yourself uh, or act yourself, behave yourself differently.
That is a really nice way to put it, as teachers actually the co-learners, the
Sure.
designer for with the students, which I
Yes.
think that would make the learners, students, individuals, would make the learners feel more connected
Mm-hmm.
with the providers. I would say that. I would say
Mm-hmm.
that. With all of the great things about your researches like that, because now I am fully invested in what impact do you expect that would happen in real life?
Yeah, I would answer you like this. As a researcher, we hope that our finding or our recommendation at the end of the research study will be able to propose to the people at the policy level, okay,
The poli-
or even the practitioner who work in the field, okay. So I always try not only conduct the study, like many study in a year, but be able to set a meeting with them, or be able to join the what do you call, seminar or the session with those people as well. Okay, to be able to share my study. Okay, and lead them to understand the way improve, okay, whatever research problem that I propose. Yes. So we, as a researcher, we hope that we would apply those findings and use our research study as a mechanism to drive the society. Yes.
Drive the societies.
Yep.
Well, then that would have
Not to put in the
policy.
library.
Yes, it will be great to see it in real life where people
Sure. Yes.
take it for real. Those recommendations then absolutely should be at the policy level. Well, I think that if we put it at the policy level, we sort of have to how should I put this? We sort of have to be in touch with reality as well. So how would you keep up with all of the, how should I say this, with all of the latest developments or trends in this lifelong learning?
Oh, this is very difficult, but I don't know that I can explain this. But yes, I normally read. Okay, do try to improve all skills. Okay, reading, speaking, listening, and reading. Okay, a lot. Okay, each day, and I also connect my study, one study to the next. Okay, I will not try to do like many things at once, but I try to focus. Okay, for example, I aim, or my main interest is in non-formal adult learning and education and lifelong learning, right? Or even learning city or learning society development. So I will try to focus on this. And if one research done, okay, I would take some finding or some recommendation of that research, okay, to do the other research. Yes. So all of my research will kind of connect to each other. Okay. Yes. So am I answer you? And I
Yes.
also follow the international organization or even the national country report, especially in education and lifelong learning. For example, UNESCO, OECD, yes, or ILO or something like that. The big name in driving education in the world. Yes. So these reports are very important because they lead the country, okay, and we as the researcher have to understand their intention or even their objective, okay, to drive the education for the future as well.